you made a decision, and at the time, it felt right, clear, certain, but now you're looking at it differently, questioning it, replaying it, and suddenly you don't trust it anymore. There wasn't a single moment, no clear shift, just a slow process where certainty became hesitation, and hesitation became doubt, and doubt became your default. Now everything passes through a filter. Before you speak, before you react, before you decide, you pause, not because you need time, but because you don't trust your first response. You check it, you question it, you adjust it, and only then you allow yourself to act. There are moments where you notice it clearly. You feel something immediately, a reaction, an emotion, a sense that something is wrong, and instead of trusting it, you stop, you analyze it, you ask yourself, is this valid? Am I overreacting? Did I misunderstand? And by the time you finish thinking, the moment is gone, your reaction disappears or becomes smaller, less certain, less real. This is how trust in yourself begins to disappear, not because you stopped feeling, but because you stop believing what you feel. There are situations where this becomes more obvious. You make a decision, something simple, and immediately after, you question it. Was that right? Should I have done something differently? Did I miss something? Even when nothing went wrong, even when there is no reason to doubt, the doubt is already there. And it doesn't leave. It stays quiet, persistent. There are also moments where you look for external confirmation. You check reactions, facial expressions, tone, trying to understand if what you did was correct, because your own judgment no longer feels enough. And that creates a dependency, not on information, but on validation. There are moments where you replay entire conversations, not just to remember them, but to evaluate yourself. What did I say? How did I sound? Did I do something wrong? And that evaluation becomes automatic. You don't choose to do it. It happens every time. There are also moments where you stop making decisions entirely. You delay, you wait, you avoid choosing, because choosing means trusting yourself, and that no longer feels safe. There are subtle changes in how you think. Your thoughts feel less solid, less reliable. You question your own conclusions, even when they make sense. You hesitate before believing yourself. There are moments where this becomes physical, a feeling of tension before speaking, before reacting, as if something inside you is holding back, checking, controlling, and that internal control replaces your natural response. There are also emotional changes. You feel less certain in your feelings, less confident in your reactions, less connected to your own experience, not because the feelings disappeared, but because your trust in them did. There are moments where you compare yourself to how you used to be. You remember reacting naturally, speaking freely, trusting your instincts, and now everything feels filtered, controlled, slower, and that difference feels difficult to explain because from the outside, nothing looks dramatically different, but inside, everything feels less stable. There's a psychological reason this happens. Self-trust is built through consistency. When your thoughts match your experience, your memory matches reality, your reactions make sense. But when all of those things are repeatedly questioned, that consistency breaks, and without consistency, trust cannot form. So instead of trusting yourself, you begin relying on correction, adjustment, external interpretation, and over time, that becomes your new system. You don't rely on your own perception. You rely on what feels safe, what feels acceptable, what feels correct, and those things are no longer defined by you. There are moments where this becomes very clear. You want to express something, but before you do, you already start editing it, removing parts, softening parts, changing parts, until it no longer fully reflects what you felt, but it feels safer. There are also moments where you stop expressing certain things entirely, not because they're unimportant, but because they're uncertain, and uncertainty feels dangerous. There are deeper signs as well. You question your intuition, you hesitate before trusting your instincts, you doubt your own perspective. Even in situations where you once felt confident, you begin saying things like, I might be wrong, I'm not sure, maybe it's just me, more often than you realize. And those phrases become part of how you think, not just how you speak, because over time, you don't just express doubt, you become it. There are moments where this creates distance between you and yourself. You observe your thoughts. Instead of trusting them, you monitor your reactions instead of experiencing them. And that distance changes everything because you are no longer fully present in your own experience. You are managing it, controlling it, questioning it. And that constant questioning becomes exhausting because nothing feels stable, nothing feels certain, nothing feels fully yours. And slowly, your sense of identity begins to weaken, not disappear, but fade, because identity depends on self-trust, and self-trust has been replaced with doubt. But there is something important to understand. This didn't happen because you are weak. It didn't happen because you are incapable. It didn't happen because something is wrong with you. It happened because your perception was repeatedly challenged. Your memory was questioned. Your reactions were dismissed. Your reality was reshaped, not once, but over and over again, until doubt became automatic. So if you find yourself questioning everything, hesitating before trusting yourself, or feeling disconnected from your own thoughts and reactions, pause for a moment, not to force clarity, not to fix anything immediately, but to recognize what has been happening, because self-trust doesn't disappear randomly. It is slowly replaced. And once you see that clearly, something begins to return, not instantly, but gradually. You begin noticing your reactions again. You begin trusting small things again. You begin allowing your thoughts to exist without correction. And slowly, that connection comes back, not perfectly, but enough. Enough to feel grounded again, enough to feel real again. And the moment you see that is the moment something changes. And the moment you see it is the moment the erosion stops.